Hi, welcome to the Game Plan. I'm Rico.
I'm Lindsay.
Today we're going to be doing a top 5 games that we love at 2 players. Now these are not 2-player only games necessarily. They're games that when played with 2 we think just are lovely, shine.
Magical.
Yes. That's pretty simple. Let's get into it.
Okay.
2-player, let's do it. Go for it.
My favorite or my 5th?
Your fit. Well, I guess.
Start at 5?
Starting at 5.
Okay.
Going up.
So these aren't in super particular order. The number 1 is the number 1 for a reason, but the other 4 are just kind of like, I like these the best. So I guess number 5 is King Domino, because I like doing the 7x7 square instead of 5x5.
Yep. And my number 5 is King Domino for the same same reason.
That's fun.
With 2 players, you can use all the tiles. So in 4-player, you use all the tiles, but it's split between 4 players.
Yes.
At 3, you just remove some. At 2, you remove more, or you'd use all and just do a bigger square.
I like it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't know why anybody would not want to do that.
Yeah. Love King.
All right. Well, cool.
Good call.
Yeah, good call to you.
Bam. Number 4.
All right. Number 4 is Imperial Settlers.
Okay, and I'd considered that one.
Yeah, I like the back and forth between 2 players in that game. And this is a game that I used to not like at all until I played as Egypt. And now I very much enjoy the game.
If you play in Egypt.
Well, I'm a little looser about it now, but I still do like to play as Egypt. It's my favorite role, but I'd try somebody else.
Yeah.
Especially if we got some expansions.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
We really do. And we need to pull it out more.
Yeah.
I'd considered this as my 2-player, but then I thought, you know what? No, I actually like it, I think, more at 3.
Yeah.
I like the little bit of diversity, and 4 is good too. I do really like this at all player counts.
I'll play it at all player counts.
It's a good one.
But I like the kind of back and forth between 2 players.
Yeah, it plays quick. I can see it. Good call.
Yeah, thank you.
My number 4 here, there really are, this is a good list, because I'm like, this game, when I think about it in the outside of the context of this list, I'm like, how is this not my number 1 or number 2?
Right, okay.
Dominion.
Yeah.
I love Dominion.
I forget about Dominion, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's not in a box that says Dominion, it's just in a plain box.
Can you see that right there?
But a ton of stuff is in it, so I just forget that that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's sad. I need to not do that.
Such a good game.
Sorry,
so,
continue.
but it just plays so quickly. It's one of those that kind of sings, because by the time you draw into your card and you figure out what it is you want to do, it's probably your turn again, because your partner does combos, and the opponent, I shouldn't say partner, your gaming partner, your opponent is doing combos and doing all their kind of stuff, which gives you the time that you need to kind of draw into your cards and figure out what you want. So by the time they're done with your turn, it's basically time for your turn.
Yeah.
And it plays so smoothly.
It really does. The only problem is the setup is a little long.
Yeah, I mean, that for a 2-player, and I guess that's kind of the nice thing, is it doesn't really scale worse with more than 2.
That's true.
And I've not yet done this and played with more people who are really good Dominion players. I played with people who are familiar with Dominion players, but I've heard that if you get through people who are really good, you can have this happen with even 3 or even 4.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. I mean,
it would be fun.
I love Dominion for how fast it can play.
I like it too.
2 players, it just feels so good.
Yeah. Good choice.
So good.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. So our number 3.
Barren Park.
It's a good one.
I like it at 2 because at 4 it's a little slow.
Okay.
Waiting for people to make their decisions, and because you take the tile and then whatever you cover up determines what next tiles you get to take, and so the next person can't go until I've chosen what tiles I'm going to take, because they're going to need to take tiles as well. So it can just slow down a little bit at 4. I'll play it at 4. It's still good at 4, but I like it a lot more at 2.
I could see that. I totally agree.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Okay, cool. Still a fantastic game at any player count.
Exactly. I agree with that as well.
Okay.
Everything.
Just in agreement.
Truth on that side of the table. Okay.
All right.
So my number 3 is 7 Wonders Duel.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it has with the Pantheon expansion.
Yeah.
Without the Pantheon expansion, it does slip off the top 5. Still a fine game. I would play it. But with the Pantheon, boom, number 3.
Okay. Because without it, one person can get way far ahead if they draft correctly.
Yeah, if
Is it
they're
called draft? If
yeah,
they choose correctly,
you're drafting.
Okay.
Yeah, so there, it builds a pyramid that is partially visible, partially hidden, partially blocked, partially unblocked, both. And so you take the unblocked cards, and then if an unblocked card, an unblocked card could unblock a new card that could be visible or invisible. And if it's not visible, you flip it if it's unblocked at that point. And the thing is if you can anticipate how to draft the cards to make sure to put your opponent into specific positions, there's nothing that the opponent can do about it. So it really does depend on the luck of the draw when you're laying out the pyramid. And we've played enough times to realize that if both players are experienced enough to know the other person is just at a deficit. There's arguments to be made like you can anticipate and prepare and all this kind of stuff. Not if your opponent knows that this is happening.
Because the opponent could get all the resources and then you just can't do anything.
Yeah, and we've had that happen where in the second and third era, due to the luck of a draw of a first era, there's nothing the opponent can do, and it's just they totally wipe them out. So
it's happened to both of us. So
it has. And
just the luck of what you're getting.
We had put in place some house rules to fix this, which actually I thought worked really well.
Yeah,
and I put them up on my comment on the BGG for this particular game in case anyone wants to try. I think they work great to fix this problem. But with the expansion, that house rule is moot because when you get into a position in the draft that you're forced into an area that you don't want to go or would be way detrimental, you can go to the Pantheon. And there's other options with the Pantheon. So the Pantheon expansion adds Pantheon cards and some tokens and some things that you actually put onto the board or onto the draft itself. And it adds a few more layers and nuances to those decisions. But most importantly, it allows you the opportunity to go back and forth between these two areas to prevent yourself from getting cornered just due to the luck of the draft.
Right. Yeah. So, good choice.
Who's got 2 thumbs and likes?
7 Wonders Duel.
Loves.
Oh, yes. This guy.
This guy.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yes. Okay. So our number 2.
So my number 2 is Caverna. But if you set up Caverna, you need to play it at least twice because the setup is crazy. And we actually played Caverna Cave versus Cave.
Cave versus Cave.
And it was a letdown. So I really like Caverna, but I don't like it with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think it's great at 2 with the caveat that leave it set up so you can play again the next day.
Yeah.
Because the setup is just
it's a pain.
beast.
It's the same. It's pretty much the same setup for 2 to 6.
Exactly.
Or 7. It plays to 7.
Yeah.
Who would play that game at 7?
I don't know.
And you pay for all the components for 7.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd ever play past 4.
Probably not. No.
But yeah, two's a great player, and I had considered it as well. But I do think that the 2, 3, and 4 are all equally good, and it didn't really shine for me at 2. But it is good.
Like it.
It's a really good game.
Yeah.
Love it. And that was the one that's kind of the one that twisted her arm, saying, "Hey, games are
fun.
super key."
Yeah. It was my first worker placement game, and then after that, I was hooked. So, it's always going to be on our shelf. We're never going to get rid of it, but setup is a beast.
Yeah. We have it basically packaged as like 3 players that we'll never use, and they're shoved off to the side, and then the rest of the game.
So some stuff does stay in the box. So. But I like it at 2.
Yeah, good game.
Thank you.
All right. My number 2 is Grand Austria Hotel.
Yes.
It's just fantastic. So it plays up to 4. Never would play at 4.
Never.
We were taught at 3. That's the only time I think I'm ever actually even played at 3.
I think the rest of the time it was just.
And it's always ever been.
2 of us when I played. I think you played it.
I've played it with a lot of other people as just 2 as well. Not a lot, but just several other people at 2. But I think only the one time at 3. I would teach it at 3. I would never teach 4. I would teach 3 other people and let them play at 3. But 2, man, does
Magical.
it just bam, 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 bam. Because you get basically 2 actions per round, 2 turns per round essentially. And it goes snake draft. So it's you, then the next player, then the next player, then you. So if it's 4 players, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to wait way too long between your actions, and so much changes that it's like you can't plan ahead. It just it doesn't work very well, and it takes so long. But at 2, that 2 beat pause in between your actions is perfect. Like you have enough time to think what you're going to do. Not enough has changed that it like would screw up anything if someone took your thing. You can anticipate it. Like I bet they're going to take this, and if they do, I'll do this. But if they don't, then I'm definitely doing that. You can at least you have enough time to do that. So by the time their turn's over, it's your turn.
Yeah.
And I think the satisfaction for me lies in the fact that so much is being accomplished in that 2-beat. I'm preparing guests. Like I'm like actually literally preparing, like grafting them in and placing them where I need them to go. And then I'm making sure that their orders are fulfilled. And then I'm preparing rooms in the hotel. And then I'm putting those players into the rooms. And then I'm making sure I'm completing them in a way that patterns out so that I can get the bonus from them. And then I'm making sure that I'm doing and all those things in 2 beats, bam.
Yep, it's really good.
If I had a mic to drop.
That game shines it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great 2-player.
Yep. Okay. So my number 1 is Grand Austria Hotel.
No surprise.
We don't have to talk about it anymore. It has been covered brilliantly. So
Let's see if
my
I
number
can.
1.
So as you guys may know, the entire point of me wanting to do these videos so I can learn video editing and that kind of stuff. So let's see if I can do an animated mic drop. It's not gonna look good. It's gonna look so bad. It's gonna be like an 8-bit mic on peep peep po po too.
I think that might be better than if it looked real. Go for it.
All right.
Okay, what's your number 1?
So my number 1 is Great Western Trail.
Beautiful game.
Love it, love it, love it.
Fantastic.
I'm surprised it wasn't on your list. I'm actually very surprised.
Probably just because it was on my last list and I just didn't think about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's another one of those. Just like Grand Austria Hotel. The reason that it edges for me out is because of. Okay, I need to elaborate just slightly. I know I can do this, but just slightly. I do love this game at all player counts. At 4, it's a slog. I discovered this during the previous. It is a slog, but I love it. It's that good.
It's still a fun game.
It's still a fun game. Played at 4. 3, really good.
Yeah.
Really streamlined, really fast. And at 2, you can play it in 45 minutes. And this is like
as long as both people know
what they're doing. Sure. And it's like I said with Grand Austria Hotel, it's this and this and this and this. That much stuff in 2 beats type of an idea. It's that same thing in 45 minutes for me. And to me, I get more out of Great Western Trail than Grand Austria as an entire game encapsulation. Yeah. The deck building, it's even more thematic to me. Yeah. Like I do feel like I'm getting cowboys and I'm wrangling cattle and like the setting. And I guess that's part of the theme, but like the fact that you're playing tiles out that are uniquely constructing how everybody's experiencing the game. There's just that much more to think about and to do, and it's still just bam, and it plays so fast and so well that it kind of does everything that Grand Austria does in a slightly shorter time, and the elements that are involved are a little bit more satisfying for me.
Okay. Okay, so that was our favorite 2-player games. Our favorite games at 2-player count.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let us know what your favorite 2-player games are.
Yeah, love to hear about it.
If you have like fun date night games and stuff like that, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.